Hello everyone! Sin's Other Sister is a short questline that retroactively adds some backstory to Korolev, the primalist that you might remember fighting in the Ohn'aahren plains during your leveling experience, so all the way at the beginning of Dragonflight. Even back then, we wondered, what is her story? How come she has the Teldrassil burn scar, why is she with the primalist, and now we find out through her sister Kil'jaeden, who has come here to lay the remains of their family to rest within a barrow den. They were gathered in Teldrassil that day to celebrate their elder sister, who had just completed their training as Druid of the Talon. It was the day that Sylvanas and the Horde burned down their home and caused the genocide of the Night Elves. Her sister led them to the edge of the crown of Teldrassil, where she told them to jump, as she would use her powers over the wind to give them a glide down to the shore below. As they drifted along, her sister was struck by a burning branch. It ignited her clothing and engulfed her in flames. Her control over the wind was lost, and her family plummeted into the sea below. Kil'jaeden was badly hurt, but at least she managed to survive. The same cannot be said about her parents or their brother. She does not know what happened to her sister, what happened to Korolev, presumes that she died as well. To which we tell her what happened, guided to those that can tell her more about her, how her hatred for the Horde had driven her to the primalists, and how she most likely was unaware of their target within the dream, that she would never attack a new world tree for their people. And then we find the remains. Obviously, Kil'jaeden wants to put her to rest with the rest of the family. Malfurion decides whether or not she's allowed to, and we get to influence his decision. Say nothing, and Kil'jaeden will be allowed inside. She does not dispute what Korolev did or the harm that she caused, but she never knew Korolev the primalist. She knew Korolev the druid, who dedicated her life to the balance and harmony of nature. She knew Korolev the Kaldorei, who would have given her life to protect Teldrassil and its people. She knew Korolev, her sister, who would take her to the docks of Ohn'aahren village as a child to watch the ship sail by, and on the way home, buy a basket of tundra berries for her to munch on. That is the Korolev she will remember. With that, here's the full playthrough. I hope you'll enjoy. Earlier today, a young Kaldorei named Kil'jaeden came to see me. She sought permission to bury her family in Barrow Den. An uncommon request, but I gave her my blessing and directed her to the Barrow of Reverie. She looked melancholy. After she left, it struck me that she might be the last of her family still alive. If you have the time, could you check on her?
Nature stands with you.
Thank you. No one should be left alone during times of grief. I don't know if I could do this by myself. Preoccupied with her own thoughts, it takes her a few moments to notice you. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Would you, Do you have a moment?
A Shah fell out.
I've carried this weight long enough. It's finally come time to put my family to rest, even if I never found my sister. Kil'jaeden wipes away tears and takes a deep breath. I must gather barrow stones to place at the final resting place, but I simply cannot carry that many stones. Maybe I asked too much of a stranger, but would you assist me? I know having someone besides me will make this more endurable.
May the stars guide you.
I've never been inside a barrow den before. My sister told me that druids do not just sleep and congregate in dens. May also be laid to rest here. This honor is also extended to the druid's immediate family. My sister loved the idea. I hope I can give her and my family the rest they deserve. I'm ready when you are.
Farewell.
My family had gathered that day to celebrate my elder sister. She had just completed her training as a druid of the Talon. We lived in the village of Ohn'aahren, high in the branches of Teldrassil. We'd heard that war might be coming, but we never fought.
Burn it!
We were told we had to evacuate, but there was so much chaos, so much fire. Even now, what I remember most was the smell. The path to Darnassus was cut off by the blaze. My sister instead led us east, to the edge of the crown of Teldrassil. She had a plan. She wanted us to jump from the tree. She would use her powers over wind to keep us aloft, glide down to the shore below. But something went wrong. As we drifted along, she was struck by a burning branch. It ignited her clothing and engulfed her in flames. She lost control of her magic. We all plummeted into the sea below. I was barely hurt in the fall, but I managed to survive. The rest of my family was not so lucky. Over time, I eventually recovered the remains of my parents and brother. I never found my sister. Her grave is likely at the bottom of the Veiled Sea. But sometimes I wonder if my sister might have survived the jump off of Teldrassil. If anyone could survive that fall, it would be Korolev. Korolev was your sister? She was a primalist and a traitor! She deserved her fate! That can't be true. If you don't believe me, go speak with the other primalist traitors at the Twilight Watchtower. They will tell you the truth.
Almost there. Now!
Mother!
Let the winds carry us onward. The Emerald Gardens will fall!
Nearly did we lose another leader of the Green Dragonflight, but Marifra's son Solifus, they took the bolt from the Dragon Killer Ballista. We got some explaining to do, and thankfully Marifra listens to us with an open heart. There are 3 clans that are still willing to stand at their side. Terai, Shikar and Ohn'aahren. United with the dragons, they ride into the field of battle. Into the gathered forces of the primalists, who are throwing everything they have to bring down the barrier to enter the ancient bow. We shut down the portals to prevent the reinforcements. We slay any and all that dare to stand in our way. Even Korolev falls, which is a bit of a shame, as they don't really explain where Korolev came from or her connection to the primalist. It does appear, if we look at the model, like she carries the scars of the burning of Teldrassil. Did perhaps those flames do anything to push her into the path of the elements? Where exactly did all these primalists and their knowledge come from? Why do they want access into the Emerald Dream? Hopefully stories that will be explained in the future.
No! I have failed. The dream must be ours.
I killed Korolev in battle.
Be careful.
What? It was you? You killed her? Yes. And now I will kill you. No, I'm sorry.
What brings you here?
Calestra takes a deep breath and tries to calm herself. Korolev, what have you done? Why? I must find out why.
Good luck, friend.
I must speak with the primalist. I don't understand why she would turn her back on us. Korolev saved my life at Teldrassil. I owe it to her to find out the truth. Noble, I realize this might be awkward, but will you help me? I can no longer bear this alone. Sorry, I always take the piss out of these moments, but it's just how I enjoy stuff. I'm sorry. The druid said the other primalists are at the Twilight Watchtower. I will meet you there. Okie dokie. But yeah, even back then, like especially with Kurog, who is set to be the apprentice of Magalfa, and the Primalist in Ohn'aahren Plains and all that. Like, there was a lot of storyline that could have gone into with the Primalist besides, oh yeah, they're like an offshoot or like a remnant of this ancient allegiance that was there back in the day of the War of the Scaleborn. But they didn't. Like, the Primalists were wiped off the boards with Razagev, and sure, they showed up a couple of times in between, but we never really learned why they sided with the Primal Incarnates. How did they know that the Primal Incarnates were locked away here? Did they communicate with Razagev through the elements? Is that how they learned how to open up the door? A lot of space for storytelling that never really happened. But here, at the very least for Korolev, we get to know her backstory of, okay, she was a night elf. She lived in Teldrassil during the burning of Teldrassil. They were supposed to celebrate as she had just become part of the Druids of the Claw. Or Druids of the... What are they called? Druids of the Claw, ain't it? Talon, even, sorry. Completer Druid of the Talon, which is like the whole wind thing. And instead of celebrating, the Horde showed up and started to burn down Teldrassil. And so the question becomes, okay, why did she join the Primalist, right? Like, why did she turn against her former friends and loved ones? Because not only did they strike out at the Hordes, they also struck out at the Night Elves, and the Night Elves were going through this whole arc of planting a new world tree. Why would she possibly ally with the Primalists? Very well, you have permission to speak with them. I've been charged with watching over former primalists as they repent for their crimes. What has become of the primalists after the war? The primalists suffered heavy losses during Razagaz's initial campaign and even more casualties during Firak's assault on Amirdrasil. Viranal's defection was another major blow to the numbers, causing many primalists to switch sides. Those who remained were either captured as prisoners of war or scattered on the winds after Firak's defeat. Malafrenaidelm pauses in contemplation. The primalists are defeated, but not destroyed. They will go into hiding once again and bide their time until called upon. And do not forget, there's still one incarnate out there to call upon them.
I am listening.
Thank you for coming.
Shafela.
Warden Malafra has granted us permission to speak with the primalists. They might have switched sides, but the wardens are keeping a close eye on them. Calestra begins to look distressed. I'm gonna talk to the wardens more. Could you handle the primalists? All of this about Korolev is just happening so suddenly. I feel we should gather as much information as we can.
May the stars guide you.
The primalists can be found scattered about, tending to the flora with their storm powers. Alright. Have you repented? Tell me what you know. Korolev was one of the most powerful storm shaman amongst the primalists. She leveraged her training as a druid of the Talon to master the elements more quickly and more fully than others. It was also why she was chosen to lead the initial assault on the Emerald Dream. As a former druid, she knew more about the dream and its weaknesses than anyone else. Korolev was terrifying. The burning of Teldrassil scarred her face and scorched her hair off. I heard she lost her entire family there. She was singularly consumed with anything that would bring an end to the Horde. She let nothing get in her way. I'm just trying to repair the damage that my actions have caused. What do you want? I don't know much about her. I steered clear of Korolev as much as possible. She hated the Horde. It was exceptionally hard on any Horde races within the Primalist ranks. I heard she joined the Primalist after the Alliance signed the armistice. She had sworn vengeance on the Horde for Teldrassil, and if the Alliance would not destroy the Hordes, then she would find someone else who would, no matter the cost. So what's interesting on this bit...
At long last, the Fourth War is over.
Not while the Black Moon still cries out for vengeance. Not until the Horde has answered for its treachery.
Is that Tyrande also never agreed with the armistice? So, if Korolev had stayed in touch with her leader, she would have known, and she would not have joined the Primalists. Because Tyrande, as you might remember, went into the Shadowlands to hunt down Sylvanas. She was like, I'm not going to go for any kind of peace until Sylvanas' head is on the plate. Now, of course, it doesn't mean outright war with the Horde, but it wasn't like, you know, Tyrande was willing to forgive and forget right away either. If only I'd known earlier what Firak was planning. I switched sides after I learned our true target in the dream was a New World tree. I don't know for sure if Korolev knew the truth, but I believe it was kept from her. I cannot imagine she would willingly be part of the assault on Amirdrassil. If she had survived, she might even be standing with us here today. What were you able to find? I can understand why my sister would want nothing more than the Horde destroyed. I and many others felt the same way for the time, and Korolev always had a single-minded focus in getting what she wanted. But I also believe that she'd known about Amirdrassil, she would have defected immediately.
Farewell.
After speaking with the Wardens, I learned the battle at the barrier where my sister fell took place east of here, on the shores of the Ohn'aahren plains. I understand her body was washed out to sea and never recovered. It's possible the Tide Brother remains back to the shore at some point. Will you help me look? Each member of my family is a necklace with a distinct design. I will identify Korlev's body. I would like to lay her to rest with the family she loved.
Be careful.
We can cover more ground if we split up. If you find her, signal me. Okie dokie. So here we have others, by the way, as well. We got
Speak
Telenus Nightbane. Thousands of years living in the shadow of one world tree, and now here we are beneath another. A city for the living, guarded by the souls of the dead. The irony is not lost on me. A unique alloy with which to forge a future, is it not?
Believe in nothing.
And then we got Delaran,
Hope is not enough.
who still has this incredibly weird backstory about being slain by Sylvanas and then brought back by Sylvanas and then serving Sylvanas, and she was like, in the end, you'll understand. I never understand. As well as Blizzard, the Night Elf Skippity Hop. I don't know. It's a thing. After all this time, it is strange to stand beneath these boughs. Strange to see hope on the face of so many. My heart may be cold, but still, here, I remember beauty. I remember warmth. Distance, but there on the edge of memory. Despite the suffering we endured and inflicted, despite the horrors and confusion, we grappled with during our darkest moments. Thrawn had offered us forgiveness. Under the boughs of a tree at the junction of life and death, no less. The Laren falls silent, her expression distant. Investigate the remains. These bones clearly belong to a troll, not a night elf. This is a Volpera or a Goblin. You find a necklace. Yo, this is the one. Hades 2 looks phenomenal. Of course, I don't want to look too much at it because spoilerinos, but yeah. Did you find her? I did. Here you go.
Ishnu Allah.
Is this the necklace? I did. Yeah.
Farewell.
Oh, Korlev.
May the stars guide
All
you.
that's left to do is to gather my sister's remains and bring them to the Barrow Den. Meet me there. I could use a friend. Sister, you'll be reunited with her family soon. You will not desecrate this den with a traitor's filth. Let's keep calm now. So, yeah, Rashan does not want them to be here. Korlev was a primalist and a traitor. To bury her here at the Mirdrasil would spit in the face of all those who lost their lives defending against her madness. We all felt the pain of Teldrassil and still bear the scars today on our hearts. That does not excuse Korlev's actions for her betrayal. She made her choice, and she must accept the consequences.
Good luck, friend.
This is a difficult situation. I did not realize that Kalestra's sister was Korlev, a known primalist and traitor. Korlev was an enemy, and yet here's evidence to suggest that she might have switched sides later in the war, as many others did. But does that possibly exonerate her sins? Malfurion furrows his brow in thought.
May nature guide your path.
Kalestra is on the verge of tears. They refuse to let me in. After all we've been done, and they deny my sister peace. This druid is trying to convince Malfurion not to let me bury my sister here with the rest of my family. He won't even let me get a word in. They clutch the strap of her backpack holding her sister's remains. I know I've asked a lot of you already. Could you talk to them? Perhaps they might listen to you?
Asha Fela.
Greetings, friend.
Okay, so we got an option here. We can persuade Malfurion that they should be allowed to rest. We can persuade him that they're a traitor and should not be allowed to rest. Or we can do nothing and just let him make his own decision. I am gonna let Malfurion make his choice. Let's see what they got for the lore. Yes.
May the winds be at your back.
Somewhere underneath there's NPCs and shit. Your sister Korlev fought for the Primalist and her actions caused pain and sorrow for us and our allies. However, she did not escape the consequence of those actions. She paid for them with her life. Korlev could not find peace in life, but perhaps under the boughs of a new world tree she may find some eternal rests. Kalestra, you may bury your sister with the rest of your family. Thank you, both of you. You've given me the peace I thought would never come. My brother died fighting Korlev. Where's his peace? Where's his justice? Noble, we have a moment. Please come see me at my family's resting place.
How might nature serve?
That was not an easy decision to make, but I believe it was the correct one. Thank you for assisting Kalestra in the matter. Despite the circumstances, let us hope that finding her sister may give her some measure of closure. We get a satchel of Stormborn seeds.
May nature guide your path.
If you persuade them from pushing her away, she just leaves. And if you persuade him that she is supposed to go inside, you get the same dialogue as you just had. So for the choice, I mean, you could just let Malfurion do his thing and go inside. And if you actively go against it, then she'll bury somewhere else, which is interesting. This quest starts in the capital, by the way, in the tree at Belameth. That's where the quest starts. You just find where you left Malfurion last time. Hello.
Ishnu Dal Diel.
Thank you for all that you've done for me. I do not dispute what Korlev did or the harm that she caused, but I never knew Korlev the Primalists. I knew Korlev the Druids, who dedicated her life to the balance and harmony of nature. I knew Korlev the Kaldorei, who would have given her life to protect Teldrassil and its people. I knew Korlev, my sister, who would take me to the docks of Rufaran village as a child to watch the ships sail by, and on the way home, buy a basket of tundra berries for me to munch on. That is the Korlev I will remember.